Once again, Roger, Mudfossil University, with our probably the best contributor we have, or one of the best, Carl Smith. And he sent this in saying, with a few ideas, and I understand exactly where he's going with this. This is normally considered a tendon strap. It looks exactly like that. However, I started to see these stripings, and I thought, ew, that does not seem to fit the tendon strap exactly. And he went down and he showed a little more, and then he went into this arch. And I could see that that is not from a tendon strap. That is, a tendon strap would come across, it wouldn't have both sides like this as a bridge. I believe that, believe it or not, is an aorta. And this is a heart that we're dealing with. And he said that he looked at this because in North America, Indian mythology said it was an underground city where the ant people led the Indians underground to safety to survive the destruction of two planets by fire and ice. Right? And he says a giant's body cavity would make a perfect instant underground city. He's absolutely correct. I agree 100%. Not only that, this is in Utah, so let's do a little discovery here. Now, a cursory glance looks like, yeah, these look like all tendinenthesis going over here and there, but when you look close, you see that it doesn't fit the profile. These are muscle layers. They're wrapped muscle layers, and these are wrapped around fabrics of muscle, and these are where the blood entries go in. I believe that was all one big tube that went right in there and fed in like an aorta or whatnot. You know, one of the blood entries or exits in the heart. And you can see there's a lot of work going on inside this. It's not just one little arch. There's a lot more to this particular area here. That's all muscle. Now I'm telling you, I know what this stuff looks like, and that is muscle. That is not like a tendinous material. Now, in addition to that, it's extremely red and extremely black. That only happens in hearts and lungs, and it only happens in hearts specifically because the red and black does not go together, and you know, the red doesn't migrate over to the black, or the other way around. The black does not migrate over to the red, so there's no yellows and browns to speak of. There's black and red, and that is what we're seeing, black and red. You see that black, black, black and red. Not typical of a lung at all. And that's the only place I find these type of heavy muscular things are in hearts like this. Now I'll show you what the anatomy of a heart looks like and why I say that these are likely from the entry of the aorta probably. Now this is what you see in hearts. You have all that muscular tissue, and you can see all of that banding and so forth. That's cardiac muscle. Then you have these huge entries, and that I believe is what we were just looking at. And you can see all these wrappings around, the black and the red, the black and the red. That would be what you are going to see, and I believe that's a heart. Now let's look at something else, because it's in the area of something else that is quite large. All right, these are tendinenthesis balls, and they're all over the earth. They call them the gigantic stone balls. Well, they are gigantic, and these little straps come off, and I'll show you what they look like in us. All right, that's the ball that we were just looking at there, and these are the straps. They usually anchor into a bone or meat or whatever down here, and then that tendon can pull against it. And the straps are what erodes usually, but I'm going to show you one that didn't, and it's on a gigantic one of these tendon balls. And the other ones that are around it, the straps are gone, but one of them stayed. This is what Carl thought. I had thought that the original arch was, but it is not. This is a tendon ball. This is the strap down to the tendon ball. The layer of tissue would have been here that would have been stuck into. You can see it's eroded away. It's weaker than the balls, but the balls are all over the place. You see them? They're everywhere. Now that one there has not eroded yet. It just happened to fall in a position where it didn't erode. This one was here. It ran over to there or to one of these balls here. There was another strap here that had collapsed. And that one will collapse. It's much weaker than the ball. Let me show you what it looks like in the anatomical. All right, these are those tendon walls, and right there's an abrupt transition between the ball and the tendon strap. And these are the fibers. You can see these little fibers in there, and it's just flexible. That's how it works. It's not real flexible. Or it's not stretchy, let me put it that way. It's flexible, but not real stretchy. Now, they snap right off here, and you end up with the balls. And they're all over the earth. They mean massive quantities of them because they come in clusters. They're all over the earth. There's clusters of them everywhere. And they call them concretions. I saw Scott Walter, who makes mistakes regularly. He saying that these were concretions. This is my opinion. These are not concretions. These are from giant stone, giant tendons. And he also made a mistake on a head, a human head. It was a mud fossil. On TV, he claimed it wasn't a mud fossil. It was carved. It's obviously not carved. It's a mud fossil. He won't respond to that. Won't respond to it. That he was wrong, and he's absolutely wrong. He's wrong about these, and I don't know what else, but he's definitely wrong about these. And so are the people from Bosnia. All those people that are over there talking about stone concretions. I had a friend of mine from Italy that was over there a week or so ago up in Bosnia, and they claimed, oh no, these are concretions, they're concretions, and they wouldn't listen to them. So it's a problem that people can just they can't speak freely about the truth of this. I'm showing the facts. Somebody can stand up and say against it, but they don't. They run away and they say, oh, don't talk to that guy. Leave him over in the woods. All right, this is a human head that was found by Arlie Caudle down in rural Kentucky, and Jim Burchell and I worked on this together. And Scott Walter went on TV and said, no, this is not a carved, this is a carved head, it's not just sandstone carved. Well, I know and I understand the process that creates this sandstone, and it's not sandstone, it's feldspar. And I understand the process that creates this red and black colors here, which is the colors of FeO2 and FeO3 blood, and I understand the anatomy, and I understand all of the different bone forum and dimples that are in here, and everything about this is 100% organic, and it is the head of a human being that was decapitated long ago, and there's a knife blade sticking into here, and this whole thing is crushed here. We had a CAT scan done. It was very poorly done in the worst possible way by University of Texas. Terrible CAT scan. We had the rest of our CAT scans done by Jesse Garant and Associates up in, he's got a couple different locations. Absolutely fabulous, huge industrial equipment, and nice people. Totally different than the people at University of Texas. Totally different than those people. So anyway, this is Scott had just walked away from it and left us to wallow in a problem here that he's created because of his incompetence. Not only that, Michael Tellinger's claiming he's discovered mud fossils now. I tried to help him, and I did. I showed him some things, but he's, and I have the DNA. I have all the evidence of chemistry and all that, and I helped him a little bit. And then it ended up getting into this flat Earth thing, and he told me nobody could tell him how satellites work, so he didn't believe there's any satellites. So now he's gone off, and I don't want to be associated with flat Earth, and everybody knows that. But I did discover the mud fossils, and now he's claiming he's, discovered them. Well, that's fine, but it's not true. All right, speaking about this flat Earth stuff, I went a little over the edge the other day, and I just blocked a ton of people. I'm going to block a ton more. I'm done with having people attack me for everything other than all they want to see is pictures of giants. That's all that matters to anybody anymore. I do research on everything. I do research on Mars, on ancient histories, on carbon dioxide, on everything, on ancient past, on light, and I'm done being assaulted by you people for this. So if you flat Earth people want to keep assaulting me, good, because I block you and then you're gone. So that's it. Thank you.